Hey everybody, welcome to a little video about trophic pyramids. So trophic pyramids are actually one of my favorite things about ecosystems, okay? So excuse me if I get a little bit excited. The past couple days, we have been talking about food chains, which is a single path and is not very representative of how an ecosystem works. And food webs is many paths, and food webs do a fantastic job of showing how many organisms are interrelated to many, many other organisms. Today, we're going to be talking about food pyramids, which do a really good job of showing where all of the energy in an ecosystem is. So I'm going to scoot through our food chains and food webs discussion. So once again, trophic pyramids or energy pyramids show that the base of every ecosystem is producers. Producers are things like plants, photosynthetic bacteria, algae, and whatnot that photosynthesize. Okay? They take energy from the sun and turn it into sugar, which they store in their cells, right? Trees are made of sugar that they create using photosynthesis. They create the sugar out of carbon dioxide in the air and water from their roots. So they take water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight and bring it together to make sugar. Okay? Then they build their entire structure out of that sugar. Okay? Bunnies eat some of that sugar. The only way for bunnies to access food is for trees to make it, and for grasses to make it, and for flowering plants to make it. Okay? So bunnies have to eat things that photosynthesize. So energy is stored in the base of every ecosystem by producers. It is then eaten by primary consumers, then it is eaten by secondary consumers, then it is eaten by tertiary consumers. These different levels are called trophic levels. Okay. The thing about trophic levels and the reason that's in a pyramid shape is that the amount of energy that producers can capture is not the same amount of energy that consumers can get. Okay? So primary producers pass about 10% of their energy on to primary consumers. Primary consumers pass about 10% of their energy on to secondary consumers, and secondary consumers pass about 10% on to tertiary consumers. That is why we see 450 gigatons of plants of primary producers on the earth. And that's why we see about 95 gigatons of everything else put together. Okay? So the amount of plants on Earth far outweighs the amount of everything else because plants have so much more energy that they can capture and they only pass a little bit on to everything else. Where does that energy go? Why is there only 10% left? The reason that it loses energy as it goes up is that, here, let's go back here. This plant actually does stuff with its energy, and this grasshopper does stuff with its energy. By doing stuff, these organisms are consuming that energy themselves. Okay? They release that energy as heat. Or they release that energy is converted into motion, right? Right now I'm using energy. Okay? Right now grasshoppers are frighteningly hopping around and scaring science teachers. Okay? So by doing that, by using energy, these things end up not allowing that energy to be passed on to whatever eats it. All right, I showed you in class yesterday, really quickly, how to do this. So just make sure all of these words make it into one of these 5 boxes, okay? And then at the bottom, what 2 major items are missing from this trophic pyramid, okay? We're only talking about producers and consumers, but all of the energy comes from the sun. And when things die, remember, decomposers get that energy.